Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today on this video, we're doing something completely different. So if you're used to my fishing videos, this may not be something that you'd be interested at all. If you've been following my channel for the last year at least, you're well aware of what happened with our family. My daughter's cancer diagnosis last January in 2024. And that whole journey with St. Jude and all of that. So, and right now, just, to give some good news, she's, as of right now, cancer free. So super, appreciative. I mean, that doesn't even really, express the gratitude that we have towards everybody that helped us along the way, all of the medical professionals that have helped us along the way, St. Jude, everybody there. It's just been an amazing year. And I was thinking the other day, because after this has all happened, obviously every little thing that pops up, with our daughter Riley, and she was 10 months old at the time, by the way, that we found out that she had this cancer called neuroblastoma. Every little thing now that comes up, obviously you're going to be pretty anxious about. And so, that's just part of the deal. Is you never know what the future is going to hold. And so it's still real scary and it's fresh. But one thing that popped out at me, because I've tried to do videos to kind of document the whole process and everything, but it occurred to me yesterday or the day before that I haven't done a video to really dive deep into how we got it diagnosed in the first place and actually caught it fairly early, or earlier than we probably would have otherwise. So we ended up getting it diagnosed, like I said, at when she was 10 months old. And we really got super lucky. And it was one of those things that, everybody says, don't Google. Don't Google anything as far as something medical, because it's just going to scare you. And for the most part, 100%, that is true. However, for us, it was actually our saving grace. So actually looking something up, something that we're slightly concerned about, turned into a situation where we potentially saved our daughter. So before we get into this, this video is for parents that maybe are seeing something that they're concerned about, but they're also seeing a lot of conflicting information online. And this is not medical advice that I'm going to be giving you in this video. I am not a medical professional. I am, not going to give you any advice. I'm going to share how we figured out that our daughter had, this cancer, neuroblastoma. Again, a huge shout out to our pediatrician. She was a huge part of that whole initial diagnosis. In fact, we had, if she hadn't been so diligent to check in on some of our concerns, we would be in a completely different scenario altogether. So anyways, let's start into it. And again, this is, my hopes are just that anybody watching, maybe just one family that's watching this, has some questions about what they're seeing with their child, and this video maybe helps them receive a diagnosis, either eliminate it or find it quicker. That is the only goal for this video. So anyways, so somewhere around December 2023, my daughter was around 9 months old at the time. It was just a good winter, Christmas, all that stuff. And my wife had gone on a short vacation back home to California for, our old home to California, see some friends for a few days. And during that time, I started to notice a little bit of a bruise around one of her eyes. I can't remember exactly which side it was that it started on, but I started to notice like a little bit of darkening, and it didn't just look like, it didn't look like just dark circles under the eye. It actually looked like a bruise, like a bruise was starting to form. So it was like a little bit of yellow around the edge and kind of black and blue. And at the time, I'm just trying to rack my brain. Like, did she fall and like have something in her hands and just kind of knock her eye or something like that? I don't remember anything like that could have caused any bruising. And more than that, it was weird because, by the time my wife had got home from her trip, she started to notice it too, obviously. And so she just chalked it up to dad being a little not as diligent at watching the kid, and she probably got hurt or something. But me being there and knowing, that, hey, I don't remember her crying or getting hurt at all during that entire trip. I knew that wasn't the case. Or at least that's what I thought wasn't the case. So we continued to watch it, and it seemed like 2 weeks later, it was still slowly coming on. And that right there was kind of like the thing that really bothered me, was the fact that, usually a bruise, I'm not a bruise expert, but usually it comes on quick because of some, trauma, falling down or whatever. And then sticks around for a bit, and then it goes pretty quickly after that. But this was slow onset. It was just slowly forming over a couple weeks. And sometimes it would kind of get lighter, and sometimes it would get worse a little bit. Or at least that's what it seemed like. So we started taking some pictures of them. So I'm going to start rolling some pictures on this video. And I'm actually just going to keep the pictures up there while I'm talking. But it didn't go away. And so after probably about 2 or 3 weeks, I started doing a little bit of research. And the first thing that because I was trying to figure out how am I going to search for this online, what I'm seeing. And so I typed in phantom, the word phantom is kind of weird to use, but it just like came out of nowhere. And so that was the only word I could think of for that. Phantom bruise around a baby's eye. And the first, and I didn't go down like the list of like articles or anything, but I went straight to images on Google and hit the image, section. And then the first picture that popped up was a young girl in England that, and that's the first time I had ever heard the term neuroblastoma before. And it was a little girl that was about the same age as Riley that had been diagnosed with neuroblastoma. And of course, the first thing that pops in your head is like, you dummy, everybody says you don't WebMD, you don't go out there and, ask Google what's going on, because you're just going to get the worst case scenario every single time. It's going to freak you out. And it's going to be, this thing that puts undue stress on you. So we saw that, and I told my wife, I was just like, listen, this is something that we maybe need to, look into it. But at the time we're like, it can't be cancer, that's not, that's not it. Right. And so we go on, and we had a doctor's appointment in a couple weeks after we really start kind of paying attention to it and had looked it up. And so we just kind of decided we were just going to keep a look at it and just see if it heals, but then get it eliminated, get that cancer diagnosis, neuroblastoma, eliminated at that meeting. And so that's what we ended up doing. And when our appointment was, I was actually on a work trip down in Florida at the time. And so I was kind of like just having to join in on these phone calls. And at that time, we weren't really concerned about it, because it's like Riley's acting normal. Our daughter just seems fine, like a normal kid. And so it wasn't like something, if I thought something was really wrong, I wouldn't have gone on this trip. But anyways, over that process of going to the pediatrician, and she ended up finding out that she did like kind of a body exam where she just kind of pressed her belly and stuff, and she realized that her liver was out of place. And so that was kind of one of the big turning points that got us like looking into some other things. But anyways, the process, I don't want to go into it because it was pretty emotional and I don't like to relive it all the time. But the process ended in us, finally realizing, something else is going on here. And so our pediatrician really advocated for us to and made sure that we got some key tests done, including some imaging and a ultrasound, and they ended up finding a baseball-sized tumor over her right kidney. So it formed starting at her adrenal gland and spread. And what we were seeing around her eyes were the metastasized cancer, the metastasized tumor in her orbitals of her skull. And so that's one of the key things we've learned since that you look for is that bruising around the eye. So it doesn't, again, I'm almost hesitant to put this video out there, but quite honestly, I'd rather somebody be scared and eliminate that, and be a little bit anxious. But if it's just for one family that watches this video because they're seeing some kind of bruising around their child's eye that they have no idea where it came from, and that one family catches, the diagnosis early, gets that diagnosis earlier than they could have otherwise, it's all worth, everybody else that is just being a little bit over worried. So anyways, guys, hopefully this video, it accomplishes that. It just creates awareness. Obviously go to a medical professional for all this stuff. But if you are searching for a reason why you might be seeing a bruise under the eye, definitely do not just assume that it's something super minor. Keep an eye on it, and if it doesn't go away and it's just kind of weird, it hangs out, 100% go get it checked out by a professional. That's the only advice that I'm going to give you. And the other advice I'm going to give you is advocate for yourself. We are very fortunate to have a bunch of different medical professionals that have advocated for our family and our daughter. But there's a lot of medical professionals out there that are, they're whatever the situation is, maybe they're overworked, or they've just seen cases like this before, but they haven't seen your child before. Advocate for yourself. Make sure that you eliminate all those big things, even if they don't think that that's what it is. I think that that's important to really, get second opinions and things like that. I really do think that that's very important. Don't go crazy about it, but just make sure that your concerns are heard and follow through with that. So that's the best advice I can give you from what we experienced this year, our family. So anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope this helped. If you have any questions at all about what we went through with our daughter's experience with neuroblastoma, hopefully it is over. But if you have any questions at all, please, or questions about St. Jude, please drop a comment below or send me an email at sonar@sonarfishing.com. I know that this is a fishing channel, so I shouldn't be doing a video like this on a fishing channel, but it's the only channel I got. And also, on that note, we have a fundraiser for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, obviously a place that is near and dear to our heart. And everybody needs to know how wonderful and special that organization is. We've got a fundraiser link in the description below. I'm going to put only that in the description below, so you will find that in this video. And if you have some extra money to donate to this wonderful cause, our family is proof that it goes to great use. So Thank you guys so much for watching. I wish you and your family the best of luck and the best of health. I'm going to see you guys. Trust the process.